Welcome to Nickelbocker's 7.2 Legion WoW Fishing Guide for the Stranglethorn Extravaganza. It starts at Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, -8 GMT. Daylight saving time does affect it. Lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. Now a quick world quest versus the old 44-minute, roughly, in Draenor and before. It's doable as long as you have fishing skill and no pole needed. Announced as a pop-up and an effect, and then you can just click that. Fish are only fishable from the effect quest start until the 50th person turns in their 40 fish. They don't drop in your bag any longer. It's an active event, so you can't sell them through the vendor that still happens to be there. Notable rewards are the Hook of the Master Angler, Lucky Fishing Hat, and for all levels, the Dread Pirate Ring. So I'm going to go through about roughly 10 tips. Your first tip would be set your hearth at the Stranglethorn Salty Sailor Tavern. So looking at this picture here, this gives you some tips on casting distance. The cast length is about 6 orc males laying down in length. That's flat, on pretty flat casting surface like you see here in the picture. These lines here, the yellow, that's the hitbox of the fishing pool, roughly. It might be a little bit long on the right side. The orange is your bobber hitbox. I believe them both to be either a cube or a square on the surface of the water. So this is a theory I have. On the second photo here, this is still a good cast, even though it's just slightly out. It's hitting the edge of it, and recasting would be a waste and actually take one cast out of the pool if you recast it and it is actually in the pool. This third picture here is a bad cast. It's just out of range of both hitboxes, so you're not going to get the event fish. A good tip is making your map big if you have happen to have the find fish skill, because you'll see the gold dots more if the map's a little bigger. And I moved mine down so that I could fully fish in front of me, since the map would be a little bit bigger. Fishing Buddy is another good tip. It'll help you focus the sounds, or you can set the sounds in your sound settings so that you'll be able to hear the bobber sound. That is the important sound. You want to hear that bobber splash. You don't want to be hearing anything else, so pretty much turn everything else off except for sound effects, and crank sound effects up to louder than anything else you might be listening to at the same time. So another thing you want to do in the escape menu is set your graphics. Now, I turn mine way down because I want to load, when I hearth into Booty Bay, I want to have that really, really low so that I load quick. So I hit low on texture. That's really important. You want your view distance down to about 2, environment detail 1, ground clutter 1. Liquid detail fair, I would recommend that as well. Particle density, you're going to want that on high so that you can see the bobber. That's about it. That's the settings that affect loading the most, I find. Key bindings, you're going to want good bindings for fishing. So just like my bar down there, you want your attacks on your buttons that you can hit while walking, and then you're going to want your fishing skill somewhere close by that you can also hit, or if you have a Naga Epic on the mouse or something like that. Strategy. On mine, I took the strategy since I was a level 20 to be very, very aggressive in front of Grom goal. That way, if I fish other people's pole here, it would encourage them to leave, and if I ended up getting a lot of my own poles. Now, I still did lose by like 3 fish and the hearth time, but I think this week I'm going to finally beat it. I made a new character on a different server, and I think I'm going to beat it. This server wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the best either. It's a known twink server, so it wasn't the best. Some other strategies would be water mount, raft, flyer, and server hop. I believe it does still work, the server hopping, but I kind of prefer to do it legit just on a lower pop server. Transferring is the similar strategy as server hopping, only it costs money. The rare fish used to drop from 2 to 4. I haven't found anything to where that's changed, so they might still drop. I didn't try for the Lucky Fishing Hat, but if you're a cloth wearer, it might be worth testing at this point. And I think that's it. Like, share, and subscribe.